Hi, good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, along with AIWF Hall of Famer Reagan Danzig. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I forget. I'm in the AIWF Hall of Fame too. No, I don't forget. I just forget to remind you. But yeah, so we might as well just put it out there because I told future AIWF Hall of Famer Tiny Tim Dolan when I went into the Hall of Fame, you guys are never going to hear the end of this because and I will remind everybody, when you watch this show, you're probably seeing the only Hall of Famers you ever knew.
Yes, I still don't see it on this is the page is supposed to be on, right?
It's supposed to be on our
AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling.
Yeah, is it not there?
Can't see it. It's
All
not
right.
there.
Rick Diesel has joined us. Let's see here. I need to figure out how I'm going to have to stop the stream and then come back. So hang on a second, everybody. We'll be back. We're going to stop and come back. All right. And I'm going to pause. I'm going to keep rolling on the recording. Let's try the Facebook thing again. I may have not said it right. Sorry, folks. Rick Diesel, are you at the fair?
He's muted.
Oh. I wonder where I was streaming this thing to. If I want to, let's try again. Hit share to your page. Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. It should be there at some point. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. I guess I was streaming it to my own Facebook. Maybe it should be there now, Reagan, or at some point. Rick Diesel, we can't hear you, but he is at the concession stand at the fairgrounds for the Surry County Fair. And welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Again, I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Hall of Famer Reagan Danzig and Commissioner Rick Diesel, although he's going to be in and out because he got a lot going on. Well, here we are. It's 6 days away from Deal with the Steel, Reagan. It's our biggest show of the year. It's a big deal. The cage is going to go up this week. Every match inside a steel cage, and boy, oh boy, have we got a loaded card for the wrestling fans coming up next Saturday.
Indeed, it is a stacked card, and there's a lot of stuff that's been building, and Justin Flash gets to take on Jack, hopefully in a more controlled atmosphere with that cage. If you can say that a cage controls something.
Rick Diesel has turned on the sound now. He's from the fair, so see, he's in the T Streets concession stand.
Well, who's gonna run the bridge? He's standing out here because I can't hear.
No, he can't hear us. Well, we can hear him. So anyway, go ahead, Reagan.
Riveting podcasting. Yes. But no, it's like, so, when you think of a steel cage, like the thought of control you don't really think about that. But in this case, a cage keeps you in, but a cage also usually keeps people out. Yeah. So, I'm hoping to see, Jack and Justin Flash having just a hell of a good wrestling match hopefully without the interference from Fighters Club with that cage. So we'll see.
I hope so. I got this video the other night. I'm going to share with everybody as we get started. That was sent to me. Hang on, let me get queued up here. Both Jack and Justin Flash were on a wrestling card in Winston-Salem on Friday night. And I got sent this video of something that happened out in the parking lot of that show that I want to share with everybody. Because I don't know if I have my hopes up for there not being interference. Check this out. It starts out with Dalen. So, but what? Just watch this. This is really crazy. Can you see the video?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna roll it. Here we go. Check it out.
All right, so how do you feel about Fighters Club right now?
Shut up. What's that? Oh.
Let me ask you something, Justin. Let me ask you something. 3, 4, 6, 7 months. You won't give up. Why won't you give up? You would have locked me in a steel cage? Me? J-A-C. So be it, buddy. You think this has been hell since? I'm an MMA fighter, idiot. I live in there. You're dead. August 19th. Deal with the steel. You're dead.
So they caught him in the parking lot. Now, what do you think? That was interesting.
That's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in that video. Not just them attacking Justin Flash. Somebody's missing in that video.
Yeah, there was no David Parrish. And how about the lady casually sitting on the bleachers there with her phone, not bothering watching some poor guy get his ass handed to him, and not
I don't know
bothering.
that I would. I don't know if I'd step in if I saw Jack attacking somebody in the parking lot, but maybe that's just me.
She didn't even bother running for help either. So I thought that was real interesting. Rick Diesel, you're with us, showing us around the concession stand. Your thoughts on that video?
But Trista won't let me run it through the Bluetooth, so I can barely hear what y'all saying. She's stingy old cow, is what she is.
Trista, let him run it through the fucking Bluetooth. What the hell? Let him use the
Trista,
Bluetooth.
please let him run it through the. Trista, please let him run it through the Bluetooth, please.
People beg.
Not doing it.
You don't even have an earpiece, Rick
Being
Diesel.
president by Phil Collins.
Well, I've got some video on the show later that's probably going to get us in copyright trouble anyway, so that's okay. But yeah, so Justin Flash attacked in the parking lot. JAC sent us that video. He's very proud of that. He says he has the advantage inside a cage because he's an MMA fighter. He hadn't done that in quite a while, but he may have a point. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, the difference between a wrestling cage and an MMA cage is in MMA, the cage is not, I mean, you can push somebody up against the cage to get position, but it's not a weapon like it is in wrestling.
Yeah, because MMA, you can be disqualified for using the cage as a weapon. You can even have points deducted for just putting your feet on it and stuff like that. So yeah, we may be comparing apples to oranges. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the slideshow going because we got a lot we got to cover tonight. A lot. So this is AIWF Ringside Wrestling for, if it's gonna start, come on, baby. There we go. August 13th, 2023. I'd like to wish my better half, Jinky, a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jinky.
Yes, we both had our birthdays this past week, and we went and got a nice big Carvel cake from Food Lion, and had ice cream and cake all in the same thing, and it was kind of nice. Although we bought those sparkly candles, that look like the fuses on fireworks when they burn. That kind of thing can turn sideways real quick. That's all I'll say about that. Maybe I'll upload the video to social media and let you take a look at that, but it quite interesting. All right, so we're on back to wrestling. Let's see, we are on Instagram. You can find us at AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. I know that's a mouthful. And Diesel 247, DEEZEL 247 on Instagram. We're on, well, I guess it's called X now. At Mad Matt Concord. Yeah, got the new logo and all that kind of shit. And so that's where we're at. First thing I wanted to bring up, though, I have something I'm personally very excited about. We have a women's world champion here in the AIWF that some of you may know had not defended the title in some time because of injury. Well, she has been since stripped of that title, and we're going to have a small 4-woman tournament to determine the winner and new AIWF Women's World Champion. The title is coming back to the United States. Not saying that it's going to stay here, but it will be coming back to the United States for the fulfillment of this tournament. The only person that has been entered in the tournament so far is Clara. We're going to have an East region final and a West region final. It's basically a Final Four, and then we're going to have the finals. And I think that I'm hearing rumors about the venues, but Rick Diesel would be the one to ask about those venues. I think I know the finals, but I don't want to spill the beans here if it's not time to spill the beans. But I think this is, Reagan, this is long overdue. One thing that pisses me off to no end, and you're going to hear a lot about what pisses me off today, is champions that do not defend their titles, closet champions. I don't like that. I was like, what's the point of getting into wrestling if you're gonna win a championship and then not defend it? So good riddance. I can't remember who your name is, and so on and so forth. Excuse me.
Heidi Katrina.
Heidi Katrina.
Heidi Katrina.
Heidi Katrina. Bye-bye.
Heidi. I thought he was saying Tiny Katrina.
Tiny Katrina.
I think he was in the bathroom. I know he.
That's why he has those excellent acoustics, right? Because he was in the bathroom. You want to sing a couple of bars of Camptown Lady for us while you're in there? And anyway, so Rick Diesel, do we have any more news on this tournament yet?
No, we're still waiting to get the other three contestants in. Clara got placed in because of her status as the Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion. The two girls from the West region were in negotiation with a couple of different promotions out west, and then we're still trying to finalize the exact venue for the finals. But we're looking at the East region will be here in North Carolina, here in Mount Airy. The West region, we're zeroing in on that, and then we're zeroing in on the finals. But they'll be in 3 different states. All 3 brackets will be.
That's fantastic. And see, when we talk about world championships in AIWF, ladies and gentlemen, our world championships actually do travel. So, it's not like we're calling people a world champion and they only wrestle in one place,
Right.
So I think that's important to point out, because I've been asked on social media before, what makes your championships a world championship? And the last time that really happened in earnest was when Kevin Phoenix was champion. Was the world champion. And I'm like, wow, our world champion's been to Denmark and been to the UK and been all over Europe. And the guy's like, really cool, So
3 continents. Our title's been on 3 continents: Europe, Africa, and North America.
Isn't that something?
And I'm pretty sure that that's it. It could, as far as I know, it could have been another one.
Yeah. One thing our affiliate program may want to be interested in, when I was in the Philippines a couple of weeks ago, there are a couple of promotions that are trying to get their feet wet there and get started. But their problem is there's basically a wrestling drought in the Philippines. There's no real history there. And so they're trying to get off the ground, but they need a little guidance. And so if anybody would like any more information on that, they can reach out to me. It would definitely have to be a project for somebody that has some time and maybe some, has a lot of time and to invest in mentoring. But anyway, so I want to get to the deal with the steel rundown, but so I want to pay a couple of bills real quick. And then we're going to go through the deep dive of the deal with the steel cards. Does that sound good to you guys?
Sounds wonderful.
All right. So our latest sponsor, Premier Auto Detailing, we say hands down the best car cleaning service in town. They service the Mount Airy, Surry County area. They will do just a straight up old inside and outside cleaning, or, get down with toothbrushes and give you a complete detailed job. If you have a business like a used car lot, or, something where you have a fleet of like trucks, like, crane servicing.
Okay.
What?
No, it's somebody making a toilet run.
Oh, okay. All right. So
back of the concession stand here at the fair so that I can actually hear you guys.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so Premier Auto Detailing will be can service you any way you need, get that car clean. Now they don't just do, you know, commercial jobs, they'll do personal jobs. So, you know, if you know, grandma finally got those cataracts removed, she can drive again. She's ready to start going back to church, driving herself to church on Sunday. But you've had the car in the backyard and grass has grown up around it and it's full of black widows and all that kind of stuff. Well, you call Premier Auto Detailing and they'll chase off those spiders and clean it up nice and have it looking like brand new, have it smelling real nice so grandma can head on back to church on Sunday morning. All you need to do is reach out to them at 336-883-5722. And you call them up and they'll be glad to talk to you about rates and all that kind of stuff and when they can get to you. Again, 336-883-5722. That's Premier Auto Detailing. And they do commercial and residential jobs as well. Tees Creations Custom Apparel. Oh my goodness. Custom clothing, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tumblers, custom license plates. You can see it all there. Their website, Tees Creations, no apostrophe, teescreations22.com. You can find them at Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook. And they've got a TikTok, and they actually do live sales on their TikTok account. You can check them out there. They're all over the place. Tees Creations. Be sure to check them out when you come to the live events. Sometimes they're selling t-shirts in the whole 9 yards there. They're going to be deal with the steel t-shirts this year. Not sure yet. Do you know, Rick Diesel?
About what?
Our Tees Creations going to be making some deal with the steel shirts this year?
No.
Okay. All right. So not deal with the steel shirts.
It was discussed, but to be honest with you, we ain't had time. They just been too busy getting the TikTok shop up and running.
Oh, okay. So TikTok is taking up all their time. So, but anyway, Tees Creations, check them out on TikTok. A lot of fun over there. And sometimes even Rick Diesel joins them for a little bit of fun and frivolity over there. That's Tees Creations. And you can visit them at all those locations. All right. And so if you'd like to join the fun here on AIWF Ringside Wrestling, we're putting a headlock on high advertising prices. You can get a read like you just heard, $10 a month. Yes, $10 a month. And if we take a week off, well, that don't bother you none, because we're going to only charge you for every 4 reads. That's the way we do. So if we take a week or 2 off around the holidays or to take a vacation, don't you worry. That's not going to impact you one bit. Hey, if you just need to get on for a week, you know, if you're running for public office or having a yard sale, something like that, it's only $6. But if you'd like us to shoot a video commercial, which we'll be glad to do, and we've got plenty of experience doing them over the last 31 years, $30 a month, and we'll get it on here and get it all over the place. And when I tell you all over the place, I mean all these platforms, just like you see here live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, which will be going away next month, iHeartRadio, I think, or I don't know if we're on that one yet or not, and TuneIn app, plus Roku. Sometimes the show gets over to Roku, but we're on all these platforms, and you can reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. That's AIWF20@hotmail.com, or you can approach us at the live events, or you can just shoot us a message on Facebook or Twitter or any of those other places we already talked about. All right, gang, here we go. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Deal with the Steel. And along with Deal with the Steel always goes the AIWF Hall of Fame. And finally, Tiny Tim Dolan is going in. I have saved my thoughts and comments because I wanted them for this show. I cannot think of anyone more deserving to go into the Hall of Fame that is a non-wrestler than Tim Dolan. And this one's close to my heart. Tim has done tons of work behind the scenes over the years for the AIWF. A lot of it uncredited, but the man is he loves the wrestling business. He is, tech savvy like you would not believe. One of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. And
designer of the AIWF logo.
Yeah, I did not know that. He designed the logo.
Yeah, the main one, matter of fact, he's designed the majority of the AIWF logos.
Artist, visionary, hard
The one that's
worker.
behind your head right now, Matt. He designed it. The one that's behind your head right now. He designed that.
Right that. Yeah, right there. So I when I saw this, I thought to myself, it's about fucking time. You know, I'm not the Hall of Fame awards are not for me to put out, you know, but it's kind of like this was one of those ones where you were like, oh, he's not in yet. You know what I mean? It was just like you figured as much as Tim's been involved with the AIWF over the years, I was kind of surprised that he wasn't in there yet, but I am glad that he's in there. This is a special place in my heart because when I found out I was going in 2015, it was Tiny Tim who made the announcement. So it seems like things are coming full circle, and I cannot congratulate Tim Dolan enough on this. This is just a huge deal. Thoughts on Tim Dolan, Rick Diesel?
I agree with what you said. What little of it I could hear.
All right.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. I'm kind of just here. I can't hear a whole lot what y'all say. So I might make some funny faces, but that don't mean I know what you're saying.
All right. Reagan Danzig, thoughts on Tiny Tim Dolan?
Well, the thing about Tim is like you might not recognize now who he is. I mean, he was an integral part because he was a commissioner at one point, but he is responsible for almost every piece of technology we have, and our show is produced now because of his help.
Yes.
He's been like the technical guru of the AIWF for what, 20 years maybe.
Yeah.
And I mean, so he and God, he's such a great guy. I mean, like I don't know that I have, and I've come across people that are just jerks in this business who are egomaniacs who are just, and Tim Dolan is none of that. He is a class act. He is an integral piece of the AIWF's infrastructure. I mean,
I just had a better picture of him, but that's all we could find.
That's because he's not a camera hound.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to find a picture of him because he works behind the scenes. So he's not like us. We're all camera whores here, but you know.
Yeah. But I mean, he is more than deserving of that honor. I mean, I was so happy to see that was the surprise entrant, you know, like, and I'm just, I mean, if you don't know, it's because he's so humble, and you're right, he's not a camera whore, and so
and
very well deserved.
The upgrades that you've seen, one of the things that Reagan kind of touched on, and I want to kind of make sure that everybody understands the upgrades that you see on AIWF Mid-Atlantic that airs on the Roku channel and our YouTube channels. That new lower third and some of that technology that goes in with the being able to switch the cameras and all that. This is all stuff that was brought to us by Tim Dolan. You know, technology that he introduced to us, that he uses to produce television at home in West Virginia. So, you know, local basketball games and whatnot. And he tried out this technology, got the bugs worked out of it, and then brought it to us. And so the quality of our television or experience, our television or internet show, whatever, you're going to see is going to keep improving as we figure this shit out. And that is most of the thanks to that goes to Tim Dolan. I mean, and that's just his latest accomplishment. That does not count any of the shit that he's done for us over the years. I mean, this is just the most recent. So congratulations, Tim. I can't say it enough. Anybody else want to add anything else?
No, there's very few people in this organization that I just have a soft spot in my heart for, and Tim is one of those. So.
Yep, good dude, through and through. All right, let's get down to it. It's Deal with the Steel. It's coming up next Saturday. We're less than 7 days away from it. Stacked card, just about every damn title on the line. I'm sorry, I'm a little loose with the lip tonight. I gotta watch my language a little bit because I'm gonna be using it a lot more later as we move on. But let's look. We got a big day of activities for you. As you can see, the gates open at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, and we're gonna have the wrestlers and fans co-ed kickball game from 4:30 to 6. The main building is going to open at 6:15. So if you want to come and watch kickball, bring a cooler, tailgate, probably be warm out. So maybe bring you a little tent to sit under or something, because the picnic shelter usually fills up quick for the kickball game. The main building will open at 6:15. Hall of Fame ceremony at 6:30, pre-show at 7, and we get started at around 7:30 with the main event. Tickets are $12 for the floor, $10 for the bleachers. Yes, they're a little higher than normal, but you are about to see why as we start to break down this card. We talked about this one last week, so I listed it first this week. It's a dog collar match. It's for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Hardcore title. Brian Danzig feels that title should stay retired with him because he is the king of hardcore, and he is going to challenge Ty Tyson. Thoughts?
Well, rumor is also that the dog collar they're using that night is scrap yards. So I think
Brian versus Ty right now.
So I think not only is Ty going, and maybe I'll say this quieter, not only is Ty a very worthy opponent of Brian Danzig. I mean, he's got all that scrapyard over him that night, so I could see that he wants to make a point of honoring Scrap's legacy, and by doing that to seal that would be to take out Brian Danzig. Now, I do have to say that pretty quietly, but yeah. So we've got, Brian is just, yeah. He honestly believes that belt is his. I mean, there's no doubt in his mind that belt is his, and he has the right to it, and that he's going to take it.
Well, I wish that I had the interview that I did with Brian at the last show when he was fired up, when he was talking to me about that. You're going to see it on the Roku and YouTube in the weeks to come, folks. But going forward, if somebody does an interview that compelling when at the live event, I'm going to come back in the back after the show's over with, Reagan, and ask you to airdrop it to me, because it was just absolutely fantastic. And Brian explaining his logic. This match is going to be brutal. It's going to be ugly. These two men genuinely hate each other. And I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. I just hope somebody doesn't get hurt too bad in this one, but I don't think you can avoid it. Dog collar match inside a steel cage, and it's pinfall or submission. I mean, it's basically you just can't get away from each other. So gonna be rough.
This isn't like your not like your mom's dog collar. It's not your mom's, but like there's no dragging around and hitting the turnbuckle and not seeing the person behind you hitting the turnbuckle. It's not going to be that trope.
Yeah.
It's pinball submission. So both of these men are going to leave that cage changed men.
Yes, they will. If you'd like to see what how brutal a dog collar match could be, you might be thinking like maybe this is a little too old school, but it's not really, because you really need to go back this far to find one that's gonna show you the level of violence that this one I think is going to have. Go back on your Peacock and find Starcade 83 and look at the dog collar match between Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine. And I think you will get a sampling of what this is going to be like. Yeah. And
it's don't be
what?
I don't know. It's like my child when they were toddlers, like just popping up saying random stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, now speaking of hatred and hatred just boiling over instantly. Goodness sakes, Joe Harrison and Mickey Fulp, former world tag team champions. The poster says, "How did this get so personal so quick?" I have to agree. This is just ugly. But the Sioux dudes with attitudes are no more. It's an I quit match inside the steel cage. A lot of personal shots being thrown. Joe Harrison talking about Mickey Fulp's fiance. Mickey Fulp basically talking about everything else with Joe Harrison. I mean, this is ugly.
I mean, this thing, I can't, I don't know how this is going to go, because I can't see either one of these guys saying I quit.
Me either.
I mean, I cannot, I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, Mickey is a tough son of a bitch, and Joe is just, I mean, he is just, I don't know how this one's going to go. I just cannot imagine either one of them saying I quit. I just can't.
I can't either. I hearken back to the night Mickey Fulp lost the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship the last time. It was in one of these multi-man matches. And I remember he wasn't involved in the fall, which is, you know, how it goes in those things. You know, you don't have to be involved in the fall to lose the match. And the reason he lost the match is because of just a loss of blood. His body quit on him. He has a will. And asshole as she may be right now, the way he's turned on the fans and, you know, talked about, oh, you know, how dare you interrupt me when I'm at dinner with my fiance. You're a public figure, dude. You kind of asked for it. But Joe Harrison, that dude is full of grit and determination too. The night they won the tag team title, Joe Harrison took a tremendous amount of punishment in that match and just kept fighting back. Like, I mean, like he was in a damn gutter war. And it was just incredible. So yeah, I'm with you, Reagan. I don't see how either one of these guys is going to say I quit. Don't see it. But somebody's going to have to, or they're going to wrestle all night. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and when you're in the cage, I mean, it's just a whole different beast. An I quit match is just a completely different beast when it's in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is one of those things where there's not going to be anybody to save you inside the cage.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's see what we got up next. It's for the Mid-Atlantic Television Championship. Alex Bryant came into this and told Matt Anderson he was coming after this title. Since then, they have had some issues with one another, especially in a tag team that I think Alex
Jerry soundtrack, and she just got you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to mute him.
Oh, it's just that Marconi boys. We're coming after it. Excellence is broadcasting. Wrestling boss, stand aside. Here we come.
Alex Bryant is, I mean, he is one of the best. He's a high flyer. He's technical. He can brawl. Like he almost is, I don't want to say perfect package, but he is, there's a lot to, I think Matt Anderson has bit off of more than he thinks. I think he's been off a lot. So
yeah, it's definitely interesting. Alex Bryant, I think the only thing that works against Alex Bryant is he's extremely self-confident, almost cocky. And I think that hang on a second.
You're gonna have to mute Dean.
Yeah, I did. I just can't.
I mean, Rick. Damn it.
I can't.
Oh God.
All right. Anyway, the only thing I think that hurts Alex Bryant is his cockiness. Sometimes he is an extremely skilled competitor. He comes from RWC down in Lumberton, Ring Wars, Carolinas. That's where James Anthony is at right now. Also, they've got a couple of impressive young ladies that are working down there that are new to the wrestling game. Amanda Kiss and I can't remember the other lady's name. Both got a lot of potential. And RWC is actually one of the affiliates that does participate in this program. And so thank you for that. RWC is an excellent promotion. So if you're down in the eastern part of the state in Lumberton, look for their advertisements. They do an excellent job down there. As a matter of fact, the World Tag Team Champions, the Wrestlers, wrestle down there. So yeah, so Alex Bryant coming up here looking for Mid-Atlantic Gold. Matt Anderson has held on to that thing for the better part of a year now. And this is going to be a very interesting match. I can't wait to see it.
And I mean, and the thing too about Matt Anderson, we were talking about people, you know, defending their title. I mean, Matt Anderson has I mean, he's had defense after defense with that belt. So I mean, I'm sure he sees that belt as an extension of himself.
He is a true television champion in the old school way. Every time he's there, if he's at a show, he's defending that title if he's in a one-on-one match.
Exactly. And, you know, and I don't know, this one is interesting because it is two very different styles meeting together. So I think that's going to be very interesting. Again, you're going to be in the cage. How's that going to affect some of the stuff Alex Bryant does? I mean, so it's like a meeting of two different worlds. So I'm really excited to see how they each react and adapt to each other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting match. And one that I'm definitely looking forward to. But now here is one that I think is going to really stir things up. Sin Crowley and Jeff Flowers against David Parrish and Osriel of the Fighters Club. This is for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team title. We do not see Sin Crowley and Jeff Flowers a lot in this area. They have been coming back more recently, but do not be fooled. They do not look alike. You know, Sin Crowley is kind of the scary guy. Jeff Flowers is, you know, old school Jeff Bodine, Levi Garrett, Charlie Daniels listening to guy. They don't seem like they fit together, but they do. They're very close friends. They've been a team before. They've won championships in other promotions in Virginia. They are a damn good tag team and should not be underestimated going up against the Fighters Club. They are a very dangerous team. What can you tell us? What are your thoughts about this, Reagan? These guys, I think the Fighters Club is got their hands more than full in this match, maybe more than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, and you're right with Sin Crowley and Jeff Flowers. Like, if on the surface they look like two people that have just been thrown together, like, but you know, if you watch them when they were here at the, you know, 2 weekends ago,
one of the July shows.
Yeah, and if you follow if you follow them, you know, and watch their matches and other promotions, they work like a well-oiled machine. Like they work together. They know how to run a tag. They are veteran tag team, together, and they do run like a well-oiled machine. So I think Fighters Club. I think sometimes Fighters Club looks on the surface of people and don't take them seriously, because you can just say, hey, it's some redneck guy, some guy that's face painted. But it's deeper than that. These two guys they can go, and they can go hard. And so I'm curious to see how this goes. You know, and again, if you watch, I don't know if that match is up yet between them with Fighters Club. Was that
maybe on Roku, but not up on YouTube yet. I'm not sure. Roku's a couple.
So, you know, Jeff Flowers ended that match a bloody mess after he was attacked by the Fighters Club. And so he's going to be, you know, blood for blood, you know. But I'm going to say some of the members of Fighters Club, they looked very conflicted about that beatdown. So I'm interested to see if we can keep a united front against them. So we'll see.
Only one way to find out, wrestling fans. You're going to have to join us next Saturday night, August 19th, 7:30 p.m. bell time. But we've got more. Oh, boy. Here we go. Clara, who is going to be the object of my ire in our next segment, is putting the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship on the line against the Spark, Jada Stone, my niece, Katrina Batak's favorite wrestler. Jada has come close to defeating Clara a couple of times, but because of Fighters Club interference, referee Dalen, one thing or the other, she has come up short. This could be Jada Stone's third time's a charm. I don't know. I'm glad to see Jada coming back. She will not quit. Jada is not afraid to get in Clara's face. She's not afraid to smack Clara around, which she's done before. These two came up through the ranks together, went through training together. They know each other well. It's sort of like, I want to think I think about old school rivalries like Stone Cold and the Rock and Roll and the Midnight Express. Like teams that are so familiar with each other, wrestlers that are so familiar with each other, they almost know what the other one's going to do before they do it. That's Clara. That's Jada Stone. This is going to be awesome. And maybe inside the steel cage this time, Jada can find some justice. Your thoughts?
Well, the last time they met, it was a brawl, and it surprised me that, the only reason Clara left, the champion is, I don't know, because of her. I'm not saying their match. What I'm saying is they went hard with each other. It was a great match. They're well suited for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know if Clara could have pulled that W on her own. So
we'll never know, but maybe inside the steel cage, this will be the shot for the Spark, and maybe she walks out the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion. Clara has held on to that title for a long time, and part of the reason is she can't find opponents. Jada will come in and wrestle Clara every time she gets a chance, but we can't have her wrestle Jada every month. Come on, but you know what I mean? Jada is ready for a fight anytime, anywhere. She is a firecracker, and I'm telling you, I'm looking really forward to this match. It's going to be awesome. And then finally, just announced this week, here it is for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship, Heavyweight Championship. JAC defends against Justin Flash. Justin is holding the piggy bank, so I guess this is him cashing in the pig. I don't know if it's no, he's not.
No. But yeah, so I don't think that episode is up yet. So there is a special guest referee for this match, who is not on the poster.
Oh God.
I don't know how much I can say.
We're 1 week away from the
last time Justin Flash and Jack were there, Justin Flash cashed in. It looked like Jack was down. It was going to be, and it was not. And so things did not go, as Justin Flash wanted, and he lost. But surprisingly, which is strange, Kevin Phoenix comes out, and he is now given Justin Flash back this rematch with JAC, and Kevin Phoenix is the special guest referee. So now rumor is, and just from what I'm seeing backstage, this is a different Kevin Phoenix than that most people are used to. Something has come over him, not sure what, because you just never know with Kevin Phoenix, but that crowd left really happy after Kevin Phoenix set that match and made himself the guest referee.
Oh God. Oh God. You can tell what I think. I can't even look at the camera right now.
I mean, he says he's going to call it down the middle. I mean, he saved Justin Flash. I mean, he saved him. So it's going to be interesting because can you trust Kevin Phoenix?
No.
I mean, but then can we trust him more than Dalen?
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what Dalen's gonna do.
Yeah, you know exactly what Dalen's gonna do. Now we don't know what Kevin Phoenix does.
Yeah.
Kevin Phoenix could be doing this for his own glory. I don't know. He could be doing it to screw over Justin Flash. He could be doing it to screw over Jack. He could be doing it to mess with him. He could be with Kevin Phoenix. I mean, he is. You just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know. Kevin Phoenix. If I do word association with Kevin Phoenix, the first thing that comes to my mind is Rod Flanders on The Simpsons saying, "Lies make baby Jesus cry." So, so we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened, and one part of me is glad that Kevin Phoenix is back because he's a talented competitor. He's got so much talent, more in his little finger than most people have in their entire bodies. He can wrestle his ass off. I hope he is back to make good, but we'll have to see. Deal with the Steel season kind of puts me in a nostalgic mood. When I think of Deal with the Steel, I think of it's really exciting. It's really awesome. Wrestling is so awesome. It's really exciting. But I also think I think about when I was a kid, there was a wrestling video that came out. And for you old school fans, I kind of wanted to show this. We're probably going to get popped for copyright for this, but I don't care. I'll take it out of the YouTube version. I want you guys to watch this. This is the opening to the 1987 Great American Bash videotape. And I have always thought it was one of the eeriest, creepiest home video openings of all time in wrestling. And a lot of you young folks probably never even seen this. But yeah, this was all the rage in late summer of 87 when it came out. And we could barely get it in the video store. So I thought we'd take a trip down memory lane real quick and let me show you this. I thought you'd get a kick out of this if none of you have ever seen it. I got this off of the Davenport Sports Network Facebook page. So they hadn't been slammed with copyright for it, but they'll probably get us. So thought you guys want to take a look at that. Just notice how kind of eerie and creepy it is. Imagine being 10 or 11 years old and seeing this. Check it out. What do you think about that, guys? Isn't that just the eerie video intro all time?
It just sends chills down my spine. That was a great one. So
yeah. Do you guys remember the video? And it had the War Games match from Atlanta on there, and that's on the video there. I've got the DVD around here somewhere. Years ago, I believe Rick Diesel converted the video to DVD for me. But that was a good video. It had I remember watching that video and thinking wrestling is so cool and wrestling is so awesome, but I'm really scared somebody is going to get hurt. And that video really, intro really had like a foreboding of doom over it, I think. And what's funny, Nikita Koloff in that first War Games got fucked up, and JJ Dillon got fucked up in that first War Games, and it ended up, the funny thing about that, maybe not funny, but the very next Saturday night in Greensboro, Nikita lost the United States title that he had held for almost a year to Lex Luger because of the neck injury he suffered in the War Games match. Was a big part of that. And of course, Ric Flair beat Jimmy Garvin in Greensboro that night to win a dream date with her that went horribly wrong. And he ended up in a
Miss something lively. What's the
Miss Atlanta Lively.
What was the Atlanta Lively? That's right.
Yeah, knocked Flair out and pushed JJ in the pool. It was just
that's one of the best. That's one of the. I mean, I don't know. That's just that's one of my favorite times. Like that whole time period. It's just it's just it a lot of it's very terrible. Like politically incorrect, terrible.
What?
There's a lot of things that. Huh?
Oh, what during that Jimmy Garvin Flair feud?
No, I'm talking about in that general time period.
Oh, yeah,
there
but
were some questionable things.
You can't. Yeah, but it was 87. It was 87.
Yeah,
you can't hold
that's
it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's. But if you can go back and watch it without taking that into account,
yeah.
I mean that's the best times in wrestling ever, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
that was when wrestling was. I mean, just. I don't know how to explain it if you don't know anything about it or you didn't grow up on it. It was just another time, and it was just fantastic.
It was the last of the territory eras before, all the territories went away because Crockett would go out of business in 1988. They would sell to Turner, which would become WCW, and thus ending the territory system, except for Memphis, pretty much. Justin Flash, yes, we showed it at the beginning of the program. So I got another clip from that era. It's around the same time, Bash 87. They had just started the tour. They did a TV taping in Landover, Maryland. Do you remember the match between the Rock and Roll and the Midnight? Big Bubba came into the ring, spiked Ricky Morton. They got the 3 count. The Midnight thought they had won the World Tag Team title, but the other referee came down and reversed the decision. All right. So Cornette was hurt at the time. And so one thing that you do not find very often is interviews with the Midnight Express during their entire run together, which they were together from 84 to 1990. So they had a 6-year run as the Midnight Express. That Cornette is not there. Right. And Sweet Stan had joined the team at this time. And I thought it would be fun to show everybody, because these things are never happen, because Cornette never missed work unless he was just unable to get there. Right. I mean, he just didn't. And the question is, could beautiful Bobby Dennis or Stan cut promos? And I will let you be the judge of that, because I have one here that we're probably going to get popped for copyright again. But fuck it. we're talking nostalgia and good times tonight. All right, so here, check this out. This is Midnight Express without Jim Cornette.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Tag Team Champions, beautiful Bobby, Stan Lane. What is Big Bubba doing here?
Let me tell you something, David Crockett, being the paramount national announcer you are. I know there's one question that you're dying to ask me and Bobby, and that's, how does it feel to be the new World Tag Team Champions?
No.
Hey, go ahead and ask us that.
You're not.
Ask us. We are the champions. Just because some wino referee with a broken nose comes out here, he had no business. He was not sanctioned to be in this match. These straps said it all. And I know you're wondering if we did it for all the thousands and thousands of people that write to us every week on national TV. I know you're wondering if we did it for all the people that sick of the shut-ins that love us so much. Bobby and myself are role models for America's youth. We're Christian athletes. I know you're wondering if we did it for all the civic organizations, the Boy Scout troops that call us and want us to speak to them. But no, we didn't do it for any of those people, David Crockett. We did it for just 2 people. 2 people in this whole wide world. And one of them right now, and it upsets both of us to even think about it, one of them is lying prone on his back right now in a hospital bed. I'm talking about our dear beloved manager, Jim Cornette. A man, David, who's never even attempted to be an athlete. All he does is give us spiritual guidance. He gives 8% of his gross earnings to charity. He co-wrote We Are the World. He's a good Christian human being. And the Rock and Roll Express jumped him last week, put an illegal leg lock on his leg. and he's in traction right now. And his mother, God rest her soul, she's right there beside him, holding his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it for them. We're the new world champions. Forget it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with 8-man cage match right after this.
Cornette again.
Yeah, that's great. You know, one of my favorite things about Bobby Eaton is
What's that? He didn't talk.
He never looks at the camera ever.
Really?
If you go back and watch all his stuff, he never looks at the camera. He's always looking at places, and it's just, I don't know what it is. It's like he's so great that he's just disinterested in even looking at the camera.
He didn't like talking at all. You know, he is Beautiful Bobby was just one of the strange anomalies in wrestling. Like, he liked the money, he liked earning a living doing wrestling, but as far as like speaking on camera and the accolades of the fans, he seemed to not really care about that. Because I met him one time and I was just going, "Oh, dude, you're the greatest, what, you know, man, you invented high flying, you know." And he just, you know what he said? That's exactly what he said. You know, he just didn't care. I mean, he was just a unique dude, man. You know, Beautiful Bobby was. And Stan Lane killed me in that interview where he said, Jim Cornette's right, Mama, God rest her soul. And then he remembered she was still alive at the time and had to back out of that real quick.
I right now, in what I'm watching in Smoky Mountain is when they brought Bobby Eaton in with the Heavenly Bodies.
Oh yeah.
And so it's now, he just won their weird ass TV title thing they did.
Yeah, they're
the champ TV champion. And so he, you know, and so now him and Tom Pritchard are button heads, and it's so good. I mean, it's one of the best things. There's a lot to be said about Smoky Mountain, but this is their work together is fantastic.
Yeah, they Cornette was still working with WCW at the time, and I think Bobby was coming off an injury or something like that and need to get back in ring shape or something like that, or they wanted to take him off TV for a little while to like cool him off or something like that, and so that's why he was doing that. But yeah, it's really compelling, and the way that all comes to a head, I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Tom was definitely jealous of Bobby. That was so awesome. And was that the time?
You never hear.
Was Stan still there at the time? Was Stan still?
Yes.
Okay.
Stan Lane, Tom Pritchard, and then they brought in Beautiful Bobby, and then so because it's built up to Bluegrass Brawl, Bluegrass, and it's so it's I'm excited because I have now fallen in love with the Tennessee stud stable. Ron Fuller is now like one of my favorite. I love watching them so much, and so it's building up to Ricky, Robert, Arn, Bobby, Tom Pritchard, Stan Lane, and Robert Fuller, and Jimmy Golden, and Dutch Mantell.
Yeah,
and so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it was a good time.
Just some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he did not give a shit, but you know, that's why he got his job in WCW off of that. All right, let's move back to the Mid-Atlantic. This is this is something we won't get busted for copyright for, but I want to share it with you. Let's take a look. This is off Mid-Atlantic episode 434. It's Clara defending the Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship against Katrina Kreis. And I have got a serious beef with one Miss Clara after seeing this display. Look at Dalen. Dalen's the referee. She was clearly on top. Katrina was clearly on top. For those of you listening, I'm going to try to give you best play-by-play I can here. She was on top. Clara was clearly going to kick out of it. but Dalen wouldn't even bother counting. I mean, he at least most of the time pretends to be unbiased, but it was so flagrant in this matchup. As we continue to watch the video, you know, and there Clara hamming it up for the camera. Yeah, you're doing great. Delivers a hard forearm shot, and that looked like it was in the throat. And I don't know if the referee, if he's saying anything to her about it. He looks like he's clapping, cheering her on. Of course, the whole Fighters Club out there. Now Clara's got the advantage. We all know Clara's an incredibly talented wrestler and dangerous competitor. This is available on Roku and our YouTube channels, by the way. This is Mid-Atlantic 434. And you can hear Brian. Look at this. And Dalen saw Jack doing that. I mean, something at some point. I mean, God almighty me. I mean, this is just, it's just old at this point. Reagan, your thoughts? The whole bringing Dalen to the ring. I mean, it makes the matches fucking pointless, if you ask me.
It does, and I don't understand why the powers that be, whoever that is now, I mean, I don't even know who it is anymore, let him ref their matches. It's like it's not the AIWF anymore. It's the Fighters Club show. You know, it's like an invasion that's just wearing down on everybody.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And look, and Katrina is just in the corner. She just, I mean, here's the thing. It's like Clara comes out. You'll see at the beginning. This is episode 434. She comes out at the beginning of the episode and talks about, oh, there's no competition here. I can't get anybody to come wrestle me. I'm the best woman in the world. What you're hearing that. And you heard me last week sticking up for her on the show. Yes, it's hard to find opponents to come in and wrestle her. But I had not seen this video yet. And now that I see this, I'm like, okay, well, here's the reason it's hard to find women to come. One of the reasons that it's hard to find women to come in and wrestle you, Clara, is because you've got a corrupt referee who they know if they get a match with you, they're not going to stand a snowball's chance in hell to even winning or even being able to be competitive, because the referee is just going to pull some shit like this and not even do it. You know, and then she comes out in the promo and she's talking about, well, I'm being contacted by the biggest promotion in the country. You know, they email me once a week. Okay, well, number one, I wouldn't be if it's true, I wouldn't be putting that out there for the general public to hear, because that's nobody's business. Number two, I think it's bad luck. I'm just superstitious. That's just me. Look, I am the first one to stick up for these kids when they need sticking up for, like I did last week. I don't like the older generation saying how lazy they are and they're not good and all that kind of stuff, because it's just not true. But when they need to be called on the carpet, I'm going to do it here. Clara is doing herself no favors by pulling this kind of shit. You know, people are not going to want to wrestle her. She's not going to get more experience. You know, wrestling is look, Dalen tying his shoe. I mean, how much more blatant can you get? I mean, he's just there tying his shoe. I mean, and now Clara, watch this here. Katrina drives her face first into the cover. 1, 2, 3, 4. He didn't even bother to count. She might have kicked out, but we'll never know. I mean, then a schoolgirl from behind, fast count, 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote. You know, wrestling is a spectator sport, right? It's funded by the people that buy tickets to it, that watch it on TV, that type of thing. As a wrestling fan, I have to say, if I'm the consumer, why the fuck would I ever buy a ticket to watch Clara wrestle? Because I already know what's going to happen. I'm sorry, but it's reached that stage at this point. This is out of hand, and I'm not, I will say the same thing to her face. I think she's doing, and she has the link to come on the show tonight because I knew I was going to do this segment. Yeah, I think she's doing herself a disservice. Thoughts, Reagan?
I said, actually, I mean, if you go back to like last year when I was just sticking my head around the corner when Clara and Jack would come on, I was saying to her, I said to her face, I was like, you have to make the decision. Are you going to start winning the matches on your own? Or are you always going to have somebody cheat for you? Is it, are you just going to be in the shadow of then they weren't married, but your husband, and have him do the work for your wins and your ref? Are you gonna step out and show what a great wrestler you are? Or are you just gonna be like, oh, okay, I mean, so what? She's got the belt. She's got somebody to cheat for. She's got her husband to cheat for. She's got her ref to cheat for. She's got the Fighters Club to cheat for. I mean, when is she going to? I think the only time I've seen her, I may be wrong, so you might have to correct me, Matt, if I'm wrong, is when she beat Casey Fox.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any interference in that match.
No,
and she beat Casey fair and square. So Clara, she can do it. She can.
I know she can.
What's gonna happen though is she's just a side thought. Like, oh, she's just in there. Somebody else is gonna win it for her.
Mm-hmm.
And just not to always be throwing it back to old stuff, but you can only see a group come out so many times and cause so much trouble before your show gets bought up by WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it reminds me of the NWO because they had a crooked referee that they got in '96, right? And if anybody wants proof of this, it's documented in the AIWF archives, somewhere in Rick Diesel's archives on our show when we were on WSSV in '97 in Martinsville. I turned on WCW along March of 1997 because the NWO was winning everything. Now, I still watched it from time to time, but my weekly viewing leaned more toward Raw after Uncensored in 1997, right? And this is way before we got to Hogan staying and any of that stuff, because the NWO was winning all the time and they had a crooked referee. It was predictable. Why do I want to watch this? I already know what's going to happen. And then people are like, no, this was a great time. A lot of people enjoyed it, right? And WCW's ratings went up through the roof. And yes, they beat WWE 83 weeks. Everybody knows all that shit, whatever. Me personally, as a fan, didn't like it and turned on it and stated it publicly at the time. So that's my whole thing. That's what it reminds me of. And it does not motivate me to get a ticket. And if you do move into a larger promotion, they're not going to let you get away with that shit. Especially in WWE, the officials, if you do some kind of sneaky something or other like that once or twice and maybe get away with it, they put the kibosh on it, right? I mean, they got rid of Scott Armstrong because he was a crooked referee, and everybody knows that Triple H just bought him off, but still he lost his job. So, all right. Anyway, go ahead, Reagan. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop ranting.
Well, I mean, it's
on my microphone. I'm so mad.
It gets old. It gets old. I will say up and down, not only am I a wrestler, I'm also a mark. I'm a huge mark. I will admit that to the day I die, I'm a huge mark. And as a mark, you can only take so much.
Mm-hmm.
You can only take so much before you're eventually just like, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you might think what you're doing now is establishing your legacy, but are you establishing a legacy on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be responsible for who you are? Or are you just continue to have somebody do your dirty work. Because I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it. She is capable. She is one of the best women wrestlers I've ever seen come through AIWF. But I think I've only seen her win cleanly one time.
I've seen her win clean twice.
Twice, okay.
Yeah, both times against Casey Fox. Both times against Casey Fox. Yep. So, look, and that's no slouch on Casey Fox. I mean, just Clara caught her in a sleeper in the very first time match they had. Rick Diesel, your thoughts on Clara running wild? If you can hear us, guess not.
Oh my God, this is chaos.
It is. It is. The old Mark.
It's like old man. Hey, I don't know.
I've been watching a lot of Everybody Loves Raymond lately. You know, they got it on Peacock, and yeah, I'm getting some I'm getting some Frank Barone vibes right now. That's damn sure. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, kids, look it up. Let me be honest. Now, if I'm going to be critical, let me also point out the positives. Clara was trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard, who we were just finally reminiscing about in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, because I had never heard a Jim Cornette wrestler cut a promo until Smoky Mountain Wrestling happened. And I thought Dr. Tom was great. I thought Dr. Tom was great as Zip. I thought Dr. Tom was great as head scab referee Tom Pritchard during the referee strike back in the day. Generally, he's one of my favorite people in wrestling. Clara is the star of the AIWF Ringside Wrestling YouTube page. Her videos outpace everybody else's 3, 4, 5, 10 to 1. They do. If I put her face on a thumbnail, views go up through the roof. So it's not like she's not a star. We know that. But I think it's time to be critical when we need to. These young wrestlers, young in their careers, something needs to happen. And I just, from an officiating standpoint, something. But look, on a personal level, I like Dalen. For somebody as young as he is a wrestling historian. If you tell him something about something that happened in wrestling history, he's on his phone immediately trying to verify it. He's into this shit, right? But I don't know. It's just like, I already know what's going to happen when you guys are out there. What's next? Should I go get nachos during this match? Because, I know the opponent doesn't have a chance. Dalen's refereeing a Fighters Club match, Food for thought.
And what's terrible is when it's not the Fighters Club, Dalen is a great referee.
One of the best.
He is, sullying his reputation. I mean, he's establishing that he can't be trusted when he is one of the best referees I've seen in a long time. So, it's a shame. The whole thing is just a shame. And it's like, I don't know. How much more can we take?
Yeah, how much more can the fans take?
Anybody take it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think this applies for the whole Fighters Club. Let me show you a little screenshot of the video here, real quick before we move on to our next segment. This is just funny. I found a fan took the time not only to make this sign but light it. JAC, just a cheater. Yeah, pretty much sums it up. I know. But I don't know. I just it's more flagrant, it seems like, because Dalen always finds his way into Clara's matches. And so that's why it feels a little more flagrant. Anyway, let me do our second round of ads here, and we'll move on to CM Punk stirring up some trouble in Greensboro last night. Hey, it's our friends at Branch Management. They were our first sponsor, and we are so grateful for them. They are a tree and landscaping service that operates in Mount Airy, in the Surry County area. They can make your yard look plumb beautiful. They do pressure washing, all kinds of yard work. They can plant trees, remove weeds, whatever you need. Their number is 336-648-2487. Pressure washing, general contracting, gutter cleaning, whatever you need done around, and they offer free estimates. So you can call 336-648-2487 for branch management, and they'll show you all the particulars and help you keep that lawn beautiful this summer. And remember, it may not feel like it now, but fall is rapidly approaching. If you're thinking about planting anything, trees or anything like that, fall is the time to plant. You might not think, what are you talking about, Matt? Fall is the time to plant? Yes. You don't want to plant during the middle of the summer. Your freaking sapling's going to get burned to death by the sun. They need to be planted when it's cooler so the roots can dig deep. Even though they're sleeping over the winter, the roots are digging deep and they're getting in good. So you need to plant bushes and trees during the fall. So reach out to branch management. You can call them at 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487, serving Mount Airy, Surry County, North Carolina. And now our most delicious sponsor, the one that Rick Diesel's coming to us live from tonight, Tees Treats. They're a locally owned food service truck based in Mount Airy. Great pizza, delicious dogs, and decadent desserts. Now feature mini donuts available for any event, music festivals, athletic tournaments, street festivals, etc. And of course, the fair, which they're doing right now. You can call them to find out more information at 336-755-8204, or you can check them out on Facebook.com. Just search Tees Treats. And they are just absolutely plumb delicious. Again, that number to reach out to them, 336-755-8204, and tell them AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Tees Treats. Oh, Rick Diesel, I know you're with us. Let's see here. Oh, that's old. Here. Let me get out of there. Rick Diesel, have you got anything delicious cooking up at Tees Treats you can show us right now? You're muted. Let's see. Rick Diesel looking down. Rick Diesel, have you got anything interesting or delicious from Tees Treats you can show us?
I barely hear you, man.
Oh, okay. Have you got anything?
I got fans going. I got Phil Collins on the radio. I got hot dogs are sizzling. I mean, but I heard Tees Treats, so I'm assuming that this is part of the show where about what we do.
Yeah, you could kind of show us around if you would. Show us around the concession stand if you would.
This is the prep station. Over here we got the order window. This is the lazy kid section. This is milkshakes and more. Fries, chicken tenders, nachos, milkshakes, tea. Is it clean?
Show us that delicious food. Show us the nachos.
I'll tell you one thing. Those chicken things, I'm sorry. Because I called them chicken fingers. And they let me know real quick that they're not chicken fingers, they're chicken tenders. And they are the biggest and best chicken tenders I've ever had in my life.
Hot dogs going into the thing. Our hot dogs have been very popular here at the Surry County Agricultural Fair.
Yeah, they're working the fair this year. Those hot dogs are delicious. They're my favorite thing on the Tees Treats makes.
Matt.
Yes. Oh,
Chili,
yeah.
Chili, good Lord.
God Almighty. That is a secret that I will take to my grave, brother. Because I love that chili.
Well, today's the last day of the fair, so it's been kind of slow. I can walk back here in the back where it's not quite so loud. But today's the last day of the fair, so it's been kind of slow. But we've had a good week up here.
Really? I was going to ask you how. I know they moved the fair again this year. They had to. But, how did it go?
On the fair,
I didn't understand
But
any of that.
we can't complain.
Good.
Right now, we're getting all geared up. Check this out. We've got plenty of stock for Deal with the Steel.
So I have a question. Is it going to be the trailer at Deal with the Steel, or are y'all going to still be in the building?
No, we're bringing the trailer for Deal with the Steel.
Okay.
So we can have the good stuff and all the fun cakes and all that good
The
sweet
fun
stuff
cake?
that makes it all.
The fun cake, where I had to slum it. I had to slum it at the fair and get I didn't get a funnel cake, but I had to slum it at one of the terrible places that was really too expensive to get a deep fried Snicker, and it was terrible.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The famous trailer will be back at the at Deal with the Steel, but we always have the building as a backup just in case. But we're gonna do some stuff in the building. We didn't do it for the fair, because it's just, my God, it would have killed us. But like if we ever have to run out of the building for a show, we'll bring in one of the funnel cake fryers, and we'll do everything we can to make it just as good as possible for everybody.
Yeah. I'm craving one of those hot dogs now. But anyway, all right. So
we're good, Matt.
So last night AEW Collision was filmed in Greensboro. Brock and Arn Anderson were there. It's kind of nice. The Coliseum looked like the lower bowl was about 3/4 full or a little more, according to some video that I saw going around on social media. So kudos to them. It's like, I like the fact that the Greensboro people showed up on Saturday night. The funny thing about Greensboro was the Wednesday night show did not do too well last time they were there as far as attendance wise. I think just because it's Greensboro, it's on Wednesday night, people are used to going on Saturday, and during the Attitude Era Monday or whatever day SmackDown was on, and so and now a lot of us that were in our 20s in the 90s are older now and have children of our own and don't want to be dragging the family out to Raw and sitting there half the night on Monday and missing a day of work and pulling the kids out of school on Tuesday because you keep them out to 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So I think the Saturday night shows are doing better. I was curious because I was watching the broadcast last night, at least the second hour, where if anybody was there and could tell me that was in the crowd, did you see a lot of families there? Because the across from hard camera seats were taken up by Reagan calls them smart marks. I call them wrestling nerds. I've never been around the wrestling business, but I know everything. I love Kenny Omega. But
you're a lot nice as well. Doesn't sound too nice, but but I mean, that's AEW's crowd.
Yeah, I know. But look, all right. So in the crowd, I want to say this. I saw a couple that reminded me of me and Jinky. Here is the fat white guy.
God.
Here's the fat white guy with his wife or girlfriend who's dressed nicely, but not overdressed for the situation. You can tell she's not into wrestling as much as he, and they are right across from the hard cam. So if they're watching now, don't take it personal, buddy. I'm fat too, right? All right. But your lady was wearing a white top with a denim skirt, and I could tell that she was not into the wrestling as much as you were, but she was there because she wanted to be with you and support you, and that's awesome. You better hang on to her, because she had a look on her face.
Do no different.
She had a look on her face. I cannot do this. Here we go. All right.
We him again.
Yep. All right. So she had a look on her face like for most of the show, she had a purse tightly last night, and she had a look on her face. There's like, there is no way I would ever put myself in this situation if he wasn't here around this many dweebs, if he wasn't here, because she just looked like she just looked like she was okay being there, but she didn't really want to be there. And so kudos to you, lady, whoever you are, mysterious lady in the white top with your boyfriend there in the middle of all those crazed AEW wrestling geeks. God bless you for supporting your man. If he ain't put a ring on it yet, he should, because girls that support their guys' stupid habits are not as many as we'd like to think. And so thank you for doing that, because it just reminded me of Jinky, how she'll sit through some of these wrestling shows with me, and I know she's not having a great time, so bless her heart. I did notice something else too, and I want to just call the AEW fans to carpet on. If you're in the front row at ringside, why the fuck do you need to stand up and block the people's view behind you? You're on the front row. What the fuck is wrong with you? God, that annoys me. That's like people holding up fucking signs. That's why I used to hate going to wrestling in the 90s and sitting across from the hard cam, because everybody had signs, even people that weren't across from the hard cam. I know I sound like an old man ranting, Reagan, but that you've been to a lot of live events.
I can't say that, because me and my friends, we took a lot of
what?
What are signs that we would take to WCW shows? So,
well, did you hold them up nonstop?
See, the etiquette. This is the etiquette. The etiquette is supposed to be, when you come back from commercial, you stand up, you show your sign, and then match starts. Maybe you stand up a little bit longer. Match starts. Sit back down. Put your sign down. Sit back down. When something huge happens, jump up and cheer. Yeah. That's what the etiquette should be.
Yeah. But I could see in this video here was shot across from the hard cam, and there are people with signs up that the hard cam will never see. So anyway, if you're a ringsider, have a little fucking respect for the people behind you, because they paid a lot for their seats too. You know who you are. You know who you are. You always go to Greensboro shows. I see the same faces there. You know, I'll tell you to your face if I ever see you in public. Sit down. But anyway, that just got on my nerves. So
get off my porch.
Yeah, get off my porch. Sit down. That's why I like sitting. But see, that's why I like sitting up in the stands, because if you sit up in the stands above the ring, the likelihood of people like that getting in your way is going to decrease a lot, because you can just look over them. Now, you will have the occasional person hold up a sign, but you can just take pennies and flick them at their head,
or
and then
flag.
Stop to that. Huh?
Or a flag. Or a flag.
Flag?
I'm still bitter about that. I will be bitter the day I die about that.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
About Jim Duggan.
All right.
To the day I die, I would be bitter.
I would be too, honestly. I mean, you spent a lot of money on those tickets. So this is Greensboro Coliseum. This is last night after Collision went off the air, and CM Punk had some words for one Hangman Adam Page. Why is this relevant to this program? Adam Page wrestled here when he first started out. So let's take a listen.
Supermarket, and I figured out why they call him Hangman. It's because the pegs in the toy aisle are full of Hangman action figures, because nobody wants to buy them.
Oh! You son of a bitch!
He's a peg warmer. Unlike me, who moves merchandise and pops ratings and sells toys. Everybody in AEW saying, I'm the heart, I'm the soul, I'm the spirit. Well, that's objective. What is a fact is the people who say that certainly aren't the chin of AEW, because the lights go out faster than what? GTS, go to sleep. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I got rocked too. I told the House of Black no chops, and they chopped me, so I'm very mad. So I think this is what we.
So that was that. Thoughts on CM Punk's comments about Adam Page? That was he took a pretty hard, stiff shot at him there, telling he can't move merch and sell toys and pop ratings. He's not wrong, but he's still holding a grudge for Adam Page going into business for himself over a year ago. So, hey, what do you think? Part of that is because he was an Adam Page country, I believe.
Yeah, I don't like CM Punk. I don't know if it's because I'm a mark. I don't know if it's because I'm in the business. I don't like, you ever like not like somebody and you're like, do I not like them because I don't like their character, or is it I don't like them because I don't like them? And that's kind of how I am with him. Like, I don't like, I mean, he's a good wrestler.
Very good.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I would tell you, my favorite CM Punk thing that ever happened was when it was him and Jericho, and Jericho was heel, CM Punk was baby, and it was that whole straight edge thing, and you know, it went a little far with Jericho pouring beer in his mouth, but you know, to me that was a really good. Like, he was at his best. Jericho was really at his best, you know, really at his best then. And, you know, that whole angle just worked so well, and both of them did so well. But now it's like every time CM Punk opens his mouth, he's whining about something. And he has nothing to whine about. I mean, he's on heels. I mean, okay. He's got a gig in Hollywood. He's got a AEW show that's pretty much focused on him, correct?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Collision's a decent wrestling show all the way around, though. I mean, that's me saying that, and you know, I am no AEW apologist.
And so I don't know. I just, when he came back into AEW, when he came back, I was just like, eh. Because, like, what gets me is, like, I followed him after. This is another reason I don't like him. Because you know, he left the WWE because they did not take his concussions seriously. I mean,
that's what he said anyway.
Yeah, but I think it was. I mean, because if you look at those last few months that he was there, like, if you look at what he looked like he was dying. Like, I would watch and I would be like, there is something wrong with him. He does not look right. And so, and then there was the whole thing with him and oh my God, the podcast guy. Why too many chair shots? Help me.
I don't know.
He did the podcast with him. The guy's in AEW now, but then he left. He's the big time Jewish wrestler. He was on
MJF.
the $5 wrestling. Huh?
MJF.
No. Colt Cabana.
Oh, Colt Cabana. Yeah. They had a falling out.
He, you know, they had a fall, and CM Punk ended up suing him, and Colt Cabana didn't have as much, you know, it's just like all this stuff that came out, and CM Punk is an asshole. And I don't, maybe I'm buying into a work, maybe, but it's just like, just for the past 5 or 6 years, like, anytime he opens his mouth, he's bitching and complaining about something. Am I wrong? Because I don't watch the show, but
no, you're not wrong. I mean, I've always let me just say this. I've never met CM Punk. You know, if I ever met him, I would try to go into it with an open mind. But he comes across as an asshole in real life. He seems that way. Now, here's the thing. FTR seemed to like him. And although I don't know Dax personally, I do have mutual friends. And those two guys, I never hear anybody say anything bad about them. So for them to be friends with CM Punk, maybe that's part of that's a bad rap. I don't know. I've never met the guy. He does sometimes seem like an asshole to me, but I don't know. Never met the guy. But you're right. I mean, it does seem like trouble and drama follow him everywhere he goes. And like the one common denominator, it seems to be him. Although if the Young Bucks broke into my dressing room, you know, like they allegedly did, and he kicked their ass, they had it coming. And I don't know, you know, who knows what went on. Nobody will ever know outside of the room. Those hamburgers look delicious, by the way, that Rick Diesel is showing being prepared there at T's Treats at the fair. Yeah, man, and if he puts some cheese on those things and they start getting all melty and gooey all over that grill, that'd just be fantastic. I'll take mine with mayonnaise, pickles, ketchup, and mustard. Thanks. But yeah, I don't know. It's thoughts on CM Punk. Drop them in the comments. Yeah. Anyway,
maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe I'm jaded. I don't know.
Could be. Who knows? Who knows? But you know, look, I wish him the best. You know, hope everybody. You know,
yeah, he's making them. I'm sitting in my bedroom. He's out making millions of dollars. So
yeah, and he only has to wrestle right. like once a week too. So you know, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right, so Rick Diesel cannot hear us that well. Oh, it's going to the prep station. There is it's putting some cheese on it. Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
Yeah, plum delicious. So last week we kind of talked about, in you know, the AIWF, would they release the tapes or not, of the incident with Brian Danzig and Ty Tyson at the last show involving Rose Tyson. Now, I have not been cleared to show this yet, but I think I'm going to anyway.
I'm gonna make a production. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
All right. So,
but who's gonna fuss? Rick doesn't know what's going on. Kevin Phoenix is trying to figure out who the hell he is now. I videotape it, so I say roll it.
All right. So let's take a look. We're gonna take a look just after the match ended. Brian Danzig comes into the ring and makes his demands very clear. And this is what and we warn you, if you're one of these soft type of people, you may want to just
if you're a pearl clutcher, turn away.
Yeah, it's time to turn away right now. So anyway, you've been warned. Let's take a look at this and look and listen right now.
Like I said before, Mr. Tyson, you have something that belongs to me. Give me back. I'm not leaving this ring until I get what I want. And what I want, Ty Tyson, is a shot at my title. Get out of my face!
Oh, Ty's watching.
That's some of the most the sickening thud of her head hitting the canvas. You know, I always talk about how I love that ring because its acoustics are so good, but like that's difficult to watch. It was difficult to watch when it happened, and it's difficult to go back and watch. And I know, Reagan, you're in a tough spot right here. But
I am
1990s Brian Danzig, she wouldn't even get your hands off me. She would have got snatched and dropped within 2 seconds. You know, so yeah.
And early 2000s, me would have, taken care of her too. But I mean, it's no secret that I'm friends with Trista.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Trista, we've all known Trista, ever since she was a kid. I knew Rose as a child. So it puts me in this very weird situation because people can some say, well, you have children of the same age, and but I also don't let my children in the ring. And Tyson puts his daughter in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are in the ring, you have to be ready for anything, and there are repercussions to that. And I think because Rose has only seen Brian Danzig as the quiet commentator and the friend of his mom, and us and all that, I think she didn't think that would happen.
No, I don't think she thought it would happen either.
And I don't know. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? And he still won't talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very strange here. And I'll admit, that's the Brian Danzig that, I enjoyed in the 90s, so, but
it's I don't want to say, well, in defense of Brian Danzig, but let's let the whole thing out just in case you weren't with us last week. Brian came out, and you're going to see this on upcoming episodes of Mid-Atlantic. Brian came out and made a challenge to Ty Tyson, as crystal clear as you could be. He explained his reasoning and said, I am challenging you for my title. Those are his words, right? This incident happened more than an hour after that interview took place. And so this had obviously been weighing on Brian's mind for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. He made the challenge. It hadn't been answered. So he took matters into his own hands to provoke Tyson into an answer, and dropping his Ty Tyson's daughter Rose on her head, got the job done. Actually, he got the match and then still dropped her on her head. So,
well, I have no control. But some people might be like, and I see Rose Tyson saying in the chat that I've known her since a kid, but I let my husband DDT her. But I don't control Brian Danzig. I've never controlled Brian Danzig. Brian Danzig has never been controlled by anybody.
Yep.
And people are saying this old man doesn't know what he's doing. This old man stepping in the ring. I'm just saying, don't underestimate the viciousness of Brian Danzig.
Exactly. Let's run once more. Let's run through the card for Deal with the Steel. It's coming up this Saturday night, August 19th in Mount Airy. Dog collar match. Brian Danzig goes up against Ty Tyson for the disputed AIWF Mid-Atlantic Hardcore Championship. That's what we've just been talking about. Also on the card, Mickey Fulp, Joe Harrison, Sioux Dudes with Attitudes, former World Tag Team Champions. They hate each other's guts now, and they're going to settle it in an I Quit match. This is going to be a battle of the wills. This one could go all night. These two are both very stubborn and very hard-headed, and it ought to be great for us wrestling fans. Also, Alex Bryant challenges Matt Anderson for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Television Championship. This has come to a boiling point over the last few weeks. Egos definitely getting in the way here, but hey, if you openly come up and challenge somebody for a title, you can't expect them to be all warm and fuzzy about it. You know, a lot of money and prestige comes with carrying these titles. And so we're going to find out. Matt Anderson, Alex Bryant from RWC. We're going to see who is the best when it comes to the TV title inside the steel cage. Remember, all matches on Deal with the Steel are inside the steel cage. Tag team champions from other promotions, Sin Crowley and Jeff Flowers, invading the Mid-Atlantic area recently, and they are going right after the top dogs. David Parrish and Azriel of the Fighters Club defend against Crowley and Flowers this Saturday night, Veterans Park, 7:30 bell time. But you want to come early for the kickball game, which is going to start around 4:30. Tickets $12, bleachers $10. Cannot wait to see you there.
You need to get your tickets because we were putting the names on the seats for the reserved floor seats last night, and there are not many seats left on that floor. We had people getting tickets last night after they saw that fair show. Get me tickets for that Deal with the Steel, and we were selling tickets right there. There are very few floor seats left. Now, there's not a bad seat in the building, but if you want that floor seat, you need to have a slide showing the how you can get online, buy them online.
No, I don't, but I'll see if we can't track that down as soon as I run through this.
Okay.
So it's brownpapertix.com, by the way. But Crowley and Flowers challenge Fighters Club for the tag team championship. AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship on the line as Clara takes on the Spark Jada Stone. Looking real forward to this. Jada's been close a couple of times, and she may have Clara's number come Saturday night. Bell time again, 7:30 p.m. And for the big one, we saw Jack attack Justin Flash in the parking lot, Winston-Salem, on Friday night earlier in the program. Might even show that again before we go. It's Justin Flash taking on JAC for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. This one's been coming down for a long time. Again, 7:30 p.m. next Saturday night. You can join us early for the kickball game at 4:30. And let's see if we can find the Brown Paper Tick site. Should be on our Facebook or something somewhere.
It is. Probably 5 days ago.
Let's see if I can find it here. It's our live stream. Bear with me on this.
Well, if you can't find it, if you go to the AIWF Mid-Atlantic page on Facebook, you'll see, just scroll down a little bit and you'll find a way to reserve your floor seat ticket.
Here it is. We'll take a look at it live with everybody. All right. So, all right. You should be able to see our Facebook page here. Let me just show you something I ran across right here. Mickey Phelps smoking a cigar. And it says it was on August the 11th. Me just chilling. No, I'm going to beat the shit out of No Comparison Joe Harrison next Saturday and make him say, I quit. Wow. Okay. All right. So brownpapertickets.com is the website. Here is the link. So let's click on it and see what happens. Takes you here. Oh, you got all kinds of delivery options. Let's do will call. And so $2, 2 tickets. And let's see. Does it show a seating chart anywhere here or just no? Oh, okay. So find an event. Let's see here. And so if you go to brownpapertickets.com,
we used to put up an updated seating chart before this show, but that didn't get done this year.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get one by Monday.
What I'd like to know is why Sunday worship at Believe Church is selling tickets. Well, it says free, but still, why do you have tickets? AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, deal with the steel. Let's see. Okay, so we click on that. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a seating chart. Yeah, will call, no delivery fee. Yeah, floor seats, $13. Okay. So there you go. brownpapertickets.com. Let's check it out. So you saw how to get there. It's on the Facebook page, but it's brownpapertickets.com. If you want to get them in advance, make sure you get a floor seat. But again, like Reagan said, there's not a bad seat in the house. So upon request, let me see. I need to stop sharing. You do not need to see all that. Let's see. We're going to show the video again where it looked like they were doing an interview with Dalen about the state of the Fighters Club right now, but then something off screen got the cameraman's attention, and it looked like Jack had found one Justin Flash. Let's take a closer look.
All right, so how do you feel about Fighters Club right now?
Fighters Club, I mean...
Shut up. What's that? Oh.
Let me ask you something, Justin. Let me ask you something. 3, 4, 6, 7 months. You won't give up. Why won't you give up? You don't like me in a steel cage? Me, J-A-C.
So be it, buddy. You think this has been hell since? I'm an MMA fighter, idiot. I live in there. You're dead. August 19th. Deal with the steel. You're dead.
And so that's that. Well, we've seen it for a second time. Sorry for coughing into the microphone, but that's definitely an interesting video. Hey, and word to the wise, Mr. Cameraman, when you're conducting an interview, it's not nice to ask the person a question and then because you got distracted by something else, tell them to shut up. That's not going to win you many interviews of people if you're telling the interviewee to shut up. Think about how many times you ever saw Bob Caudle tell a wrestler to shut up. Think about how many times you ever saw Jim Ross tell a wrestler to shut up. Now, he told Paulie Dangerously to shut up a lot, but he did not ever tell a wrestler to do that. Think about how many times you've heard Michael Cole tell somebody to shut up other than Jerry the King Lawler during their feud. Just word to the wise. That's all. Just trying to help.
You need to be, when you're an interviewer, you should be impartial.
You should, as I clear my throat again. You should be impartial. I try not to. I have always, look, if a wrestler decides to break the rules, that's on them. I may be critical of it when analyzing the match, but it does not, as a wrestling broadcaster who tries to pattern his style after Bob Caudle, because that's my hero. I just think Bob was the end all be all of all wrestling announcers. Sorry, just, better than Gordon Sully, yeah, in my opinion, because Bob was just that friendly grandfather guy, right? And it's not up to me to judge them. I just cover the sport. The fans make up their own minds. Now when I got on to Clara that tonight, yeah, I do have an opinion on that because I do think that she is hurting herself and, possibly doing damage to the promotion. Because again, if you are mixed up with a crooked referee and the fans already know what's going to happen every time you wrestle, what's their motivation to buy a ticket? Just putting it out there. All right, final thoughts before we get out of here. I think we covered everything. Oh, no. One more thing on my list. I'm sorry. I almost forgot about this. Matt Classic, you put out a message the other day on social media talking about saying that you wanted the AIWF to put together a TV show and would like promoters to work together. Well, guess what? Since 2021, this show, Ringside Wrestling, has been that platform, and we have gotten next to no participation from any of the affiliates save for the New Bern crowd and RWC, right? So my whole thing is, why? The format is here. It says in the description on the YouTube page, we for all AIWF affiliates. That's what this show started off as. That's what it was designed for, to promote all the affiliates, not just Mid-Atlantic. You know why we just promote Mid-Atlantic? Because nobody else participates. So now you're saying, let's put together a show. Good luck, pal. Because I can tell you what, there's so many motherfucking wrestling podcasts, they're almost impossible to monetize. So if you want to start another one, go right ahead, my friend. But this one right here was designed and made for that purpose. And we do not have, we just haven't got any participation. All you have to do, wrestlers, any AIWF affiliated promotion, we even offered to let people come on here and promote their shows that are just in the Carolinas and Virginia that weren't even AIWF affiliates. All you have to do is send me a message on the Facebook Messenger, and I send you the link. You come on, you promote your show, you get off. It's free advertising for wrestling promoters. We can't give this shit away. And so then I see that you're going to start up another podcast, and I'm like, wow, you already have one. You already have one, and you choose not to use it. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck, I feel like I can't give away pussy on a troop train right here. I mean, we have got a show that is free advertising for wrestling promoters, any wrestling promoters, and our own guy that manages the world championships wants to start a show just like it. Okay. And we're already funded, dude. We've got sponsors. We've got their monthly costs covered. This show is not going anywhere. Okay. I mean, it's just, oh my God. It just makes my head want to explode. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reagan. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, like you said, we ask people all the time, all you gotta do is get the link from us. That's it. Or from you. That's not me. But I mean, I have the code. I mean, if you can't get in touch with Matt, send me a message. I can give you the code. It's not secret. You don't have to have a secret handshake or a secret word. You don't have to just be like, hey, can I come on? And you don't have to stay on the whole time.
No.
Come on for 5 minutes. Come on for 10 minutes. Come on for 1 minute. Be like, hey, we got a show in West Virginia, in Charleston. Our main event's going to be blah, 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 blah. Come out. Tickets are blah, blah, blah. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do.
And
the internet.
The most I might ask you.
Phone.
Yes. The most I might ask you to do is sit through one of our sponsor breaks. That's it. So you may have to sit through a couple commercials, but you see how fast I go through those. So I don't know. That just flew all over me. There's already 6 million wrestling podcasts out there now. There were 5.5 million when we started this one. So we are as guilty of anybody as seeing an already overcrowded marketplace and saying, me too. So, but I just wanted to get that out there. This program, even though we focus mainly on the Mid-Atlantic, is for all the AIWF affiliates. All of them. If you want to send me promos, posters, but I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not spending 30, 45 minutes, an hour every week seeking the shit out on the internet and putting it up myself anymore, because I got no help from the promoters. So that's on you. If you want to send me advertising materials to put on this program, I will put them up. I will, but I'm not seeking them out anymore, because I did it for months and months and months and months and months and only had 2 guests that came on from other promotions. If you don't believe me, go in the fucking archives and look it up on YouTube at the beginning in 2021. See how we struggled. Daniel Halen was my first guest on this show, just so you know, if you ever want to answer that trivia question, maybe win you a free beer sometime. But anyway, that's all I had to say. I'm just a little aggravated by that. I saw the note and my blood pressure.
You aggravated all night.
Yeah. I told y'all I was going to piss some people off tonight. So anyway, you want your show put over for free? Just send me the ad materials. I'll put it up. Don't worry. Don't cost you nothing. Anyway, all right. So Rick Diesel, Reagan, final thoughts before we get out of here. We're 6 days away from Deal with the Steel. It's our biggest show of the year. Cannot wait. It is going to be a blast.
Get there early. That kickball game is super fun. Well organized. Not just a bunch of people out there actually just kicking the ball. I mean, it's organized. It's serious. It's fun. It's a good way to mingle with your favorite wrestler. Because
or your least favorite
will play. Yeah, or your least favorite. Yeah. I mean, last year I remember JAC had a megaphone and was bullying everybody.
Yeah.
So it's real fun. It's an all day, extravaganza, and then you'll get to see some true carnage. That's the way I can put it. Carnage.
The violence level will be turned up. Yeah. The violence level will definitely be turned up to 11. That's for sure. Rick Diesel, final thoughts before we get out of here. I don't even know if he can hear us, but we're going to try.
Try to mute him.
He's still mute. Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Mute.
They said Matt muted me.
Huh? Oh, I did at one time, yeah, but there's a lot of background noise going on. I was trying to do advertising.
Figure it out. Don't come in here and get up in my face now.
Oh, mercy.
What?
No, I'm just going to ask you for your final thoughts before we get out of here. I don't know if you heard my rant about that classic.
To wrap things up, actually hear something, but it's hotter than 40 hells in here, man.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight, folks.
That's my fault.
All right, so we'll let Rick Diesel wrap up the fair, and we'll wrap up this edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Thank you so much for joining us. Deal with the Steel is going to be great, folks. I hope you join us. If not, you'll be able to see it on the Roku channel. And remember, AIWF on network on Roku. What makes it special? No paywalls. Absolutely free of charge. So just like our YouTube page, we are giving to you, the fans, so that we appreciate your support and we want to keep you there. So thank you for everybody that tunes into our YouTubes, our Roku. Thanks for coming to the live events. Thanks for watching this show, although it gets out of hand sometimes, like tonight. But anyway, I hope to see you next Saturday night at Deal with the Steel. For Commissioner Rick Diesel, Hall of Famer Reagan Danzig, I am Mad Matt Carter. We'll see you next week, wrestling fans. And until next time, so long for now.